Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. As the CBDT chairman himself says, there is a trust deficit between the Income Tax Department and the taxpayer in India. And this trust deficit has been built over many years of tax administration. And the reasons for this kind of a deficit of trust between the taxpayer and the tax department are many. An aggressive income tax department resorts to high-pitched assessments. It results in demands which are wrong, which are highly contentious and controversial. And sadly, those demands are also then forcefully recovered from the taxpayer, resulting in huge harassment. And thereafter ensues unending litigation and uncertainty on the taxpayer. The fact is that very often the taxpayer in India is unsure of his own tax position and what will be the interpretation of the income tax law that the department is going to apply in his case. In order to build trust with the taxpayer, in order to ensure voluntary compliance at a better level, the Income Tax Department came up with the Citizens Charter of Rights and Responsibilities in 2007. This Citizens Charter was then reviewed and modified in 2010 and was then again reviewed and modified in 2014. As we said, it talks about rights of the taxpayer, expectations of the taxpayer, and what should be the delivery of services by the Income Tax Department to the taxpayer. The 2014 Citizens Charter has a vision statement, has a mission statement. It also has a statement of what the department expects of the taxpayer and the services that the taxpayer would be provided by the department and the timelines for these services. The Citizens Charter of 2014 speaks of a progressive tax policy. It speaks of improved voluntary compliance and an efficient, effective income tax department. It also talks about an income tax department to be accountable, transparent, honest, fair and judicious in its working. As we said, it provided service timelines in respect of 16 services that the income tax department normally provides to any taxpayer. For example, in respect of any refund arising out of an e-file income tax return, the Citizens Charter of 2014 says that the refund must be issued within 6 months of filing of the return. In respect of any grievances, it says that grievances of taxpayers must be redressed by the Income Tax Department within 2 months of filing. In respect of any income tax clearance certificate to be issued, it says that the department must issue it within 3 working days. And for any communication that you may have with the Income Tax Department, it said that the acknowledgement for such communication must be given immediately. But then this Citizens Charter had no legal force or efficacy. You could not go to a court in case services were denied to you as promised in this Citizens Charter, and therefore it lacked enforceability in the true sense. The charter also did not honor the privacy and confidentiality of the taxpayer. There was no such provision in it. And then, with this background of it not being legally enforceable and arbitrary assessments continuing, retrospective tax amendments taking place, and all kinds of forced recovery of taxes being done by the department. In the meanwhile, despite the Citizens Charter of 2014, there was no improvement in the trust deficit that existed between the taxpayer and the Income Tax Department, and neither was there any improvement in voluntary compliance of tax laws as the Income Tax Department expected out of the 2014 Citizens Charter. Therefore, in order to improve the trust between the taxpayer and the Income Tax Department and to also promote higher levels of voluntary compliance by the taxpayer, the Finance Minister, while announcing this year's budget, had said that the government proposes to come out with a taxpayer's charter which would contain the rights and responsibilities of a taxpayer, and that such a taxpayer's charter would be of a statutory nature. It would be a part of the Income Tax Act in such a manner that in case a taxpayer was denied his rights under the taxpayer charter, he can go to court and seek its enforceability. Day before yesterday, with much fanfare, the Prime Minister unveiled the taxpayer's charter to the nation. The Prime Minister and the Finance Minister both spoke about the continuing tax reforms by the government. And of course, like any occasion, the Prime Minister coined 2 new slogans for the nation. He said that by virtue of the tax reforms, the tax administration is now expected to be faceless, fair, and fearless. And he also said that in respect of tax scrutinies, assessments, and appeals, it is now an era of seamless, painless, and faceless appeals and assessments. Let's look at what is stated in the Taxpayers Charter and let's consider it further. The Taxpayers Charter, as has been unveiled by the Prime Minister, says that the Income Tax Department is committed to providing fair, courteous, and reasonable treatment to the taxpayers. It also says that it will treat the taxpayer as an honest person. It also says that it will provide a mechanism for appeal and review. It is committed to providing timely decisions. It says that it is committed to collecting only the correct amount of tax from the taxpayers. Further, it says that it will respect the privacy of the taxpayer and it will maintain confidentiality in its processes. It also says that it will hold the income tax authorities accountable. Further, it says that it will provide a fair and just income tax administration. It will also publish service standards and report periodically. And finally, it says that it will ensure that cost of compliance with the tax laws is reduced. Since the Taxpayer Charter talks about what is the department's commitment to the taxpayer, it also speaks about what does the department expect of the taxpayer. It says that it expects the taxpayer to be honest and compliant. It also expects him to be informed, to keep accurate records, to know what the representative does on his behalf, to respond on time, and to pay taxes on time. This is what the Taxpayers Charter provides. Let's see what is the larger picture coming out of this Taxpayers Charter. Is it going to be really as effective as it has been announced with the fanfare that followed it, or whether it will fail to deliver just as the 2014 Citizens Charter has failed to build trust, has failed to improve the levels of voluntary compliance in the nation. The larger picture, according to us, in the matter of this Taxpayers Charter and its efficacy is that, first of all, we are not yet clear from this announcement whether it is going to be legally enforceable or not, or whether it will be like the Citizens Charter of 2014. If it is not going to be legally enforceable in a court of law, then it is certainly not going to improve the situation by any measure. Trust deficit will remain. Voluntary compliance, as the government wants it to improve, is not going to go up, and the department will remain as it is. The second is, of course, the efficacy of this pronouncement. Like any government policy or pronouncement, depends on how well it is going to be implemented. And for this, a key issue is going to be building awareness of its implementation, not just among the taxpayers, but also among the tax officials who are required to administer what is promised by the government in the Taxpayers Charter. This charter, according to us at the moment, is weak, vague, and without commitment. And that's because it provides no timelines in respect of services that have to be provided by the government to the taxpayer. The Taxpayer Charter will be effective in true sense only when it provides timelines. Until that is not done, it is a vague statement. It's only a statement of intent without any tangible content. At the moment, it appears to us that the Citizens Charter and the Taxpayers Charter are going to be implemented by the Income Tax Department in parallel, because the Citizens Charter has not been withdrawn, and that, according to us, would add to the confusion of tax administration. The government will need to come up with further amendments and clarifications. It is, of course, obvious that you need a very strong mechanism to build accountability in the department. Only then will the Taxpayers Charter be well implemented. The way it is announced and the way situation remains, this Taxpayers Charter is not going to undo all the arbitrary high-pitched assessments and consequent recoveries that take place. Until that is not done, till the taxpayer is not treated in a fair manner, you are not going to see any great improvement, build-up of trust between the department and the taxpayer. The Taxpayers Charter also fails to mention any consequences on the tax officials in case they fail to provide the services or all the promises that have been promised to the taxpayer. The fact is that worldwide, taxpayers' charter has been an issue. In 40 nations, there are taxpayers' charters, but it's only in one third of these nations, just 33% of these 40 nations provide that the taxpayers' charter will be legally enforceable. For the rest of them, it is just a statement of intent, it is mere optics. Till it is not made legally enforceable, it really adds no value to the entire income tax administration in the country. It's only countries like Italy, Spain, Belgium and US where they've made it enforceable. You can go to a court and seek its enforceability. Whether that happens in India or not is something we need to wait and see. The most important issue according to us is the system itself needs to provide for a redressal mechanism in case the taxpayer is denied his rights as stated in the charter. If a citizen, a taxpayer is forced to go to a court and seek its enforceability, then according to us, it is going to be proved to of no use. The Income Tax Department needs to have its own mechanism to ensure that taxpayers' rights are protected, and that would need a huge transformation in the mindset of the Income Tax Department, and let's see whether that happens. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.